So again, good day, everyone. As president of the NCIHC, I am very honored to be here today to present the 2023 NCIHC Language Access Champion Award to Natalya Mytareva. Natalya is a true pioneer in the field of healthcare interpreting and language access. Her work has had a profound impact on the lives of thousands of people who need language services to access healthcare. Natalya's trajectory in language access began when she worked for 13 years as communications program director at the International Institute of Akron, a nonprofit refugee settlement agency, where she was responsible for coordinating and supervising day-to-day language service operations. She developed and taught courses for healthcare and court interpreters with a focus on languages of lesser diffusion. It would be difficult to cover her numerous contributions to the healthcare interpreting field and language access, but let me try. She led the first national job task analysis study of the healthcare interpreter profession. She spearheaded the development of the core CHI and CHI Spanish credentials. She served as one of the original commissioners of CCHI, later becoming its executive director, and confirming NCCA accreditation in 2012 for CCHI as the first and only organization certifying healthcare interpreters to receive independent accreditation. She worked collaboratively to establish the continuing education accreditation program to ensure quality continuing education opportunities for certified healthcare interpreters. Under remarkable achievements, there are two categories to complement her portfolio. First, her oversight of the evidence-based English Interpreting Proficiency Exam, E2E, research project. And second, administrating the core CHI performance credential to interpreters of all languages that do not currently have a bilingual certification performance exam. Natalya, in sum, has demonstrated a long and impressive career in public service and is exemplary to many who see her as a definitive leader and mentor. She's a constant figure in events, webinars, conferences, and venues that focus on language access, always with a smile and a positive outlook for the future of language access in healthcare. She has been a strong advocate for diversity and inclusion in the field of healthcare interpreting. She has worked to ensure that interpreters from all backgrounds have the opportunity to be certified and to work in the healthcare setting. Natalya's work has had a profound impact on the field of healthcare interpreting and language access. She has helped to raise the standards of the profession, and she's made it possible for more people to access quality language services when they need them most. For these reasons, it is with great pride and pleasure that I present the 2023 NCIHC Language Access Champion Award to Natalya Mytareva. She's a true inspiration to all of us. Natalya?
Thank you, Carla. I have goosebumps. Thank you to NCIHC. Thank you to those who nominated me, who voted for me. I know that every one of you today and everywhere in this country is more worthy of this award than I am. It's a very emotional moment. Like every one of you, I'm just doing my job. I'm an immigrant, and I chose to come to the United States when I married my American beloved husband, and I knew that I should rely on myself and my family when I moved here. Despite being a professor of English at a Southern Russian university, I asked my husband to come to my first OBGYN appointment in the US because I was afraid I would not understand some medical terms that the doctor may use. Luckily, he did not need to interpret for me because he was definitely not qualified to do so. But I did feel uncomfortable when I had to answer the question about the number of my sexual partners. And right then, I realized that a family member should not be an interpreter. Never. my awareness about the language access grew and was born even during my work with the refugees. And I want to thank people who ignited that passion for me. They are refugees from different parts of the world. And I thank my late colleague and friend Sanya, a Croatian caseworker and interpreter from Sarajevo, who shared with me her story about how terrifying it was to hide her husband and son during the war in the apartment. I thank my colleagues and fellow interpreters Kin and Lianza, Mon refugees from Burma, Sunday and Sasablay, Karen refugees from Burma, who lived in the refugee camps for decades because the ruling government in Myanmar has been persecuting the minority since 1950s. And I didn't misspoke, 50s. I thank Nadir and Farooq, refugees from Uzbekistan. I thank my Nepali colleagues, Bhim, Jasmaya, Rohit, and many others, refugees from the Bhutan. I thank them and many more for the courage to survive the refugee camps, for the courage to learn to become interpreters for their communities in the United States. And I thank all refugee interpreters for the courage to become certified, like many of them are right now. Working with refugees has taught me the importance of having a qualified interpreter if the patient or family with limited English proficiency need them. Refugees have not chosen to come to this country to live in a new environment with an unfamiliar language. Their normal lives have been interrupted by war, aggression, or government persecution. And when they are resettled in this country, the US government, and as we heard today in the keynote, right, guarantees them opportunities to resume normal lives. It guarantees their rights as residents and future citizens of the US. So the right to being heard by their doctor is something that this country guarantees. And yet, all of us here know how hard it is to turn this right into reality. And it's especially hard to ensure meaningful language access. That worry about language access being meaningful is that drove me to volunteer and become one of the founding commissioners of CCHI in 2009. And as its executive director for the last 10 years, I've been doing my best to try to ensure that CCHI can offer a valid, accredited certification program for interpreters of all languages. But I must tell you that CCHI certification success is a community achievement. And as a testing person, I have to use numbers. Let's say that 10% of this success belongs to our volunteer commissioners, current and past, and many of you here today, to all subject matter experts who help us develop our exams. 10% goes to our staff, Yami, Eddie, Sean, Jorge. They're the ones who actually make things happen. And our numerous raters who are working behind the scenes to make sure that the assessment is going as it should be. And 80% of the success belongs to you, to our certificates, you managers who require certification and qualification of your interpreters, you trainers who help our candidates be successful. So I thank all of you for the opportunity and pleasure of working with you to ensure that patients and their family have qualified, certified interpreters when they need them. Thank you.
Natalya, I have to say I've gotten to know you a lot better recently, and you have been an absolute joy to work with. You always put other people's needs above your own, and it's evident. And we are so proud to call you a friend and an ally and a colleague in the language access. I too get a little emotional at this time, but you are really very, very deserving of this. And I am so thrilled to be able to bestow this upon you. Would you mind sharing the award that we sent you if you can?
All right, let me try to position it so that you can see it. It's real hard.
That is wonderful, well-deserved. And again, I know that you and I and NCIHC and everyone here will continue on the path of justice for people who need language access, among many other things, because there's so much intersectionality in this, right? With the disabilities and And you said it so well, refugees do not ask to come here. There's so much going on in the world right now that we will be continuing, unfortunately, to see that kind of movement. So thank you so much. Continue the good work. You're a warrior and we love you. Thank you, Natalya.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Carla. And again, congratulations to you, Natalya. Well deserved. And it's such an honor to have you here as well, joining us and being able to learn from all your experiences. And hopefully what Natalya shared is an inspiration for all of us. She came here to this country with a dream, and the little things that she's done along the way to plant those seeds and really put emphasis on making sure that everyone has access, just like she would have wanted, or anyone would want when we arrive here. And so it's just great to see the impact. And like you said, you're just doing your job, but you're going above and beyond, and just the amount that you care about language access really shows through. And we're just grateful to get to work with individuals like yourself here in our industry and with the NCIHC.